All right, right now we got cleans. I'm going to show you both hang cleans and power cleans. This is my favorite lift to teach because it is the most technical, or one of the most technical things we're going to do in here. So with hang cleans or power cleans, okay, it is an overhand grip on the bar. It's not underhand. We're not doing curls. I'm going to show you the differences here in a minute, but I'm going to start with hang cleans. Typically, I like to grip that weight with my hands just outside of my legs. So I take a neutral stance where my feet are about shoulder width, might be slightly wider, and my hands are just outside of that. Okay. When I choose my stance, this has to be a stance that I can take off from and land in. So I don't want to see this, where you're going wider, right? We want to land in the same position that we started. So if you're starting here and you can't land here, maybe start with a slightly wider stance, right? The reason why I don't like landing out wide is your knees can start to get that valgus movement in them, and it can damage your MCL in your knee there, all right? And you're just not as stable. So starts with the stance. We do have some marks on the ground here, trying to stay inside of these lines so I don't get too wide. Going to grip overhand on the bar, and I need to have an even grip here. So I can kind of roll this bar back to me. Even grip on the bar. There's a couple different types of grips. One is just your overhand grip, where your thumb is over top of your fingers. The other type of grip is called a hook grip. So those of you who are maybe a little bit more advanced and are using more weight, this gives you a little bit more hold on the bar. So this is what our Olympic lifters do. But they grip the bar with their thumb first, and then their two fingers wrap over top of their thumb. And they hook on their thumb. So I prefer a hook grip. Try them out. Try them both out and see which one feels better for you. So just wider. So I go about a thumb's length from the center point here, or these center lines. Grip with my thumb, over top my thumb, and I start with my chest up. So I'm starting here, not here, okay? Partners, make sure that your partners are starting with a rounded back, or not a rounded back, straight back here, okay? And I'm gonna stand up with this bar, because I'm just doing a hang clean right now. So I'm gonna stand up just like I did a deadlift. And I'm going to start with a slight bend in my knees here. Okay? So slight bend in my knees. I'm hanging the bar down. That's why it's called a hang clean. Not a hand clean, not a hand cling, but a hang clean. All right? So right here, standing up, knees slightly bent, bar is just above my knees. I can also hang the bar down below my knees, but it's hanging. That's the whole point of it. From here, and I'm going to show you without the weight first, I'm going to elevate my hips, and this is a full body movement, explosive movement here. So from here, I'm using my hips and legs here to explode upright. Okay, my chest is up, I'm not rounded. Chest is up, coming up, exploding up, and I'm using my legs and hips. I'm firing my hips forward, and I'm coming all the way up onto my toes, almost like I'm jumping with it. Okay. One thing you'll notice is my arms stay straight until my legs are fully extended. So I don't want to see your arms starting to bend here. I stay straight with my arms all the way to here. Okay, so it starts with my legs and hips, coming up. Then I shrug my shoulders towards my ears, and I continue that momentum up, bringing my thumbs to my armpits. Okay, so together, it looks like this. Okay, so I'm using my hips first. Right here, as that bar is moving up, and my thumbs are moving towards my armpits, that is when I'm going to drop underneath it. Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you just the first part, not the drop, with the weight. So I'm here, knees slightly bent. I can even go below my knees. So just jumping. There's the first part. Second part would be adding in my elbow bend. and I'm bringing that bar straight up towards my chin. If I give you a different view, that bar is not swinging out. It is moving straight up. So watch this bar movement here. Straight up, it's not swinging out. Okay? Once that bar is at its peak height, or as it's moving towards the peak height, that is when I'm going to drop underneath it into more of a squat position. So I'm going to drop here, flipping my elbows forward, pushing them as high as I possibly can, and allowing that bar to roll back into my fingertips and rest on my anterior deltoid. All right, so from here, it's hanging. Remember, my first move is just the legs. Next move, legs and arms. Third move, here. Okay, if you have these bumper plates on, which is what we prefer with cleans, you can drop them right onto the ground. Doesn't damage the bar, doesn't damage the floor. Okay, so once again, coming up, dropping, catching it in this front squat position, pushing through my heels and driving my hips forward to stand up is the last phase. So I'll show you again. Right here. Okay, so one thing that you'll notice, and I'll do a different view for you, the higher I get my elbows, the easier it's going to center that bar as far as my center of gravity goes. If my elbows are down low, that puts more pressure on my wrist, and it pulls my chest forward, making me want to either drop the bar or hurt my upper back. So right here, I'm going to drive my elbows forward. So the elbow should be forward. If I am here, that weight wants to fall forward. Okay, so partners, be watching for a rounded back. Make sure it's straight, elbows high. If you cannot stand up with it, I'm going to show you how to fail real quick. Okay, failure in this class is not a bad thing. That means you're pushing yourself. So right here, come up. Okay, I just push it away from me and fall backwards. Okay, if I can't stand up, I push myself away from the bar. My partner back here is making sure that I don't fall backwards.
Don't hit the weights.
Into the weights, okay? He's just making sure that I'm safe, keeping an eye on me. He's also looking to make sure that these clips are staying tight. If he sees one pop open and get loose, that weight can slide off. And then on my next rep, it could cause an injury, right? So finally, I'm going to show you the small difference between a hang clean and a power clean. Power clean is just going from the floor. So same thing, I'll turn this way here. Same thing, I'm starting here, chest up, not here. My shoulders should come up at the same time as my hips. If you see your partner's hips shoot up first, just like in deadlifts, that's not going to be good for your back, all right? So shoulders come up, my chest stays up. I'm going to fire my elbows forward. So right from here. All right. So make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you are working technique before you add any weight. Technique first is what's going to help you grow the most in this exercise.